just showcased our new WARDOGS gameplay trailer at the Future Games Show.
It is time for a closer look at WARDOGS.
Off the back of that show, we now have reached over 600,000 wish lists, and the reception has been insane.
Oh, this game looks cool.
Big fucking map and overarching progression. Yes, dude.
I like how it's all cash-based.
Yo, this looks badass.
Lone Star winning. Yeah, fuck Manticore.
The burnt peanut's gonna fucking love that game.
This is WARDOGS.
Shit looks fire, what can I say? Shit looks fire!
Straight after the gameplay trailer dropped, we revealed 30 minutes of pure pre-alpha gameplay.
Right, that was him.
Nor did I.
Oh yeah.
We actually spent weeks trying to capture the perfect, clean footage, but in the end we just said, screw it, let's grab our mates, even if some of them are a bit shit at the game, and just play and have fun. Just zoom in on Reese's face. Reese.
Are you getting a shot of me?
Yeah.
Because you said I'm shit.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go!
Looking through all of the reactions, the pre-alpha gameplay reception has been overwhelmingly positive. It's also brought us some feedback, and that's the main subject of today's video. Not the feedback itself, but instead how we as a developer handle feedback and our game. One of our frustrations as players is seeing other devs and publishers not having the commitment to their vision or the balls to say what they want about their own game. So forgive us for being more direct than you may be used to.
But when it comes to feedback, it doesn't matter if you're a well-known streamer. It doesn't matter if you're a content creator with thousands of followers. We're not going to compromise our vision for WARDOGS based on feedback from people who haven't yet had the opportunity to experience the game how we intended.
And this doesn't mean that we're not always listening and discussing feedback.
If a bug is discovered, we'll log it to be fixed. If audio isn't clear, we'll be listening and tweaking the mix. If a UX issue occurs, we'll discuss it internally and ultimately consider redesigns. If there are gameplay frustrations or balancing issues, we'll be watching both Discord discussions and back-end data, and most importantly, we'll be playing the game ourselves and acting good time if we think a change is justified.
In the grand scheme of things, those issues are smaller in scale, but at a higher level, we have a clear vision for what WARDOGS is and what WARDOGS isn't. We've said it before, WARDOGS is a hardcore tactical shooter that doesn't forget it's a game. It takes elements of hardcore games and makes them more approachable to bridge the gap, meaning the game isn't going to be for everyone.
The risk of creating a game that sits between two opposites is that every player's line of what features are too arcadey or too hardcore become extremely subjective. Arma, Squad and Tarkov diehards think Battlefield is a casual game. Battlefield players think they're hardcore because they're not COD players. Some COD players think they're hardcore because they're playing hardcore mode. The point is, every player has their own idea of where that line sits. That's why it's so important to us that we clearly state our vision and that for WARDOGS, we are the line in the sand.
With that in mind, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room from our pre-alpha gameplay footage. Killcam.
Killcam is a great example of a feature that absolutely leans more towards arcade than tactical, but there was some context missing from the gameplay reveal.
Firstly, like everything in WARDOGS, Killcam is tied to depth and decisions that you as a player can make.
If your preferred playstyle is going incognito and you want to snipe from the hills or ambush players in close quarters, you could unlock and buy a ghillie suit from the equipment vendor. This negates the kill cam entirely. The trade-off is this comes at a steep investment, and you'll be unarmored as it sits in your armor slot, leaving you vulnerable to small arms fire if discovered.
You'll also partially negate Killcam with headshots, where it won't zoom towards your player and will only turn in your general direction after you land a headshot.
This pushes the onus onto the player to make a split-second decision in the moment-to-moment combat of the control zone. Do you go for a clean headshot kill with an AP round to stay undetected? Or do you use the hollow point ammo you looted and shoot an enemy's unarmored body parts for a quicker kill and risk the enemy detecting you? Look, we're not here to sell the benefits of Killcam. Instead, we want the more hardcore players to understand why it was added in the first place before we explain how you can play without it entirely.
We set out from day one to make an all-out warfare shooter with tactical elements that we could play with our more casual mates, who always say they want to play something more hardcore, but will get frustrated and quit in a few hours.
I'm dead. That's so shit. I'm out. I'm going to bed. Killed by invisible people. Refunded.
I'm sure we're not alone as FPS fans trying to convince our mates to try out titles such as Hell Let Loose, Squad and Escape from Tarkov, but struggle to get them to play more than a few matches. The complaint we repeatedly encountered attempting to play these games with our friends is the frustration of repeatedly dying over and over and not knowing how, where or why they died.
Whilst we know that learning to prevent that can be part of the fun and mastery of TAC FPS, the lack of information feels too punishing and too unfair to them.
This was always an issue when trying to play Armour King of the Hill and also in WARDOG's early development, as the issue was only amplified by unique design traits. Our maps are large, with lots of verticality and hiding spots, with lethal weaponry potentially at every angle. Until you learn the game, the frustration is only amplified in WARDOGS. Every life is an investment, making every death hurt more. So they end up quitting instead of putting in the hours to gain the knowledge and prevent that scenario happening in the first place. Killcam in WARDOGS softens that friction. It doesn't entirely remove it.
Killcam helps discourage camping and it nudges players to tactically reposition during engagements, and it keeps pacing more dynamic than static.
We're not saying don't camp if that's the strategy you want to invest into, but it's our answer to the age-old FPS debate of players having a significant advantage by camping. Most importantly, we added Killcam to help onboard new players to the depth and more hardcore elements of WARDOGS on our official servers. Ironically, out of all the people over the Future Game Show weekend, Asmongold called us boomers, even though his hairline's worse than mine, by the way. It's what it is.
Oh, they know their audience. The song? Yeah, this is a boomer game for sure.
But he's not wrong. The players we're talking about here have jobs, families, and other commitments. They may not have the time that we do to learn and recognize the best spots to ambush new players from, or the sonic signature of a 9mm round, but they will if they're more willing to stick around long enough to find out.
WARDOGS is not for everyone. It is a more hardcore shooter than it is arcadey, but our line in the sand here is that shooter fans who want to try something more tactical than what they usually play are a welcome part of our audience, and we intend WARDOGS to be the gateway to learning and appreciating tactical FPS.
However, once players feel they've learned the game well enough to not rely as heavily on Killcam for map knowledge, meta, and audio cues, we encourage people to try out community servers running what we're calling hardcore mode.
We haven't discussed hardcore mode yet, as we didn't want to muddy the basic understanding of the core WARDOGS experience. But in short, hardcore mode will have Killcam disabled, reduced HUD, kill feed will be forced to squad only, and vehicles will be first person only. This mode is intended for the hardcore players who aren't afraid of the higher levels of friction in hardcore tactical shooters. This way of playing is massively important to us, so cash and XP earning will remain persistent across official and community servers. The only time these servers won't be connected to your persistent cash is if server admins drastically alter values outside of our preset bounds in order to protect and maintain the game's economy. We wanted this vlog not just to serve as like the Killcam response video, but instead as an example of how we own our vision for the game, we draw that line in the sand and feed that back to you, the players. We're not going to defend ourselves every time the loudest voices disagree with our decisions, but in this early stage we want you to know wholeheartedly who you're buying the game from. We want you to understand the vision we have for the game and what game you're buying into.
This is the game we want to make and play ourselves. Honestly, if you're still against that, WARDOGS might not be for you. You'll always be welcome, but we don't want you to spend your money on something you might not enjoy.
So to recap, we want to make sure that players can understand where, why, and how they died.
You can make the choice in game to negate the kill cam with the ghillie suit or reduce the kill cam with a headshot. And you can play entirely without kill cam on community servers, which will also be a part of the persistent cash and XP system.
There's still so much we want to cover before early access, but for us, being direct and firm about our vision is the antidote to the sad state of affairs in the games industry where players have been dealt deceptive marketing for so long. I'm sure at some point our approach will backfire and we'll say something out of line that a AAA publisher would wince at. That is a risk that we at Bulkhead are willing to take to help you be more confident in wishlisting WARDOGS. WARDOGS closed pre-alpha will be happening on the 26th of June. Originally, we were only opening up the pre-alpha to 1,000 new players, but since the hype this past weekend was so high and we've received so many new signups, we've decided to add 4,000 new players to the closed pre-alpha test.